What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Moody. We're back with some more JBA action. This is our Week 3 battle, and we are facing off against the Calgary Talonflames, coached by Cole, aka Cole the Baller. Um, Today we are facing a pretty scary team. Cole on his side has the Mega Scizor, the Manaphy, the Murkrow, Nidoqueen, Raikou, and Arcanine. Just to let you know, I'm like 1 in 12 in league play against Manaphy. So anytime I see a Manaphy, I'm a little shaken up a little bit. But I think we got some couple good answers to it. So on my side of the field, we got Crank Anchors, the Mandibuzz, rocking max special defense, max HP, Impish with knockoff, U-turn, Roost, and Whirlwind. Then next we got the other fat sister in Rita Repulsa, the Cresselia, rocking out with HP Fire, which actually ended up being HP Dragon because I made this team in Gen 7 team builder, not Gen 6, which is kind of annoying. I'm also, besides the HP Dragon, I'm also rocking Moonlight, Psychic, and T-Wave. In its debut game, we got the Count, the Count the Noivern with rocking a Choice Scarf, Timid, max speed, max special attack with Flamethrower, Draco Meteor, Switcheroo, and U-turn. And then we got Lean, the Nidoking, rocking a Focus Sash with Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower. And then we got DBS, the Lantern, rocking HP Dragon, which meant to be HP Fire, Scald, Volt Switch, and Thunderbolt. Then we got Weapon X, the Dragon Dancing Charizard X with Dragon Claw, Flare Blitz, Roost, rocking that good old Jolly Nature. So looking at his team, threats definitely Manaphy. Raikou can be a threat. Nidoqueen can be a threat. Scizor, kind of where I think I got enough good answers for it. Arcanine could be a problem. You never know with Arcanine. It's one of those monsters. It's both offensive and defensive. Has a really good move pool, so you never really know what's the set until you figure it out. But that's why we bought Noivern, because Noivern is rocking the ability Frisk to scout out any sort of item he wants to go for. I've been watching some of Cole's games, and he likes to rock some of these like weird berries or like weird items. So I kind of want to just figure out and scout a little bit why or like what he's doing. It could give me a good idea on stuff like the Nidoqueen and the Raikou. Like if he's leftovers Raikou, he might be sub-common. Stuff like that. And same with the Arcanine. I can figure out kind of like what the Arcanine is, if it's rocking like a leftover set or Rocky Helmet, or if it's rocking Life Orb. Just try to figure it out. Manaphy most likely going to be like leftovers, tail low. Murkrow could be a Life Orb or it could be in a Violet set, so that's also a good month to scout out a little bit. Yeah, so I'm rocking Frisk. Noivern's gonna be the Count's gonna be my my advanced scout on this game, and let's get into it. So lead with Noivern. I would speed everything, including the Raikou. He does have the Life Orb, so I go for the U-turn. I go into Rita Repulsa. He gets up rocks. It's pretty free rocks on his part. I don't know if he has Ice Beam at this point, so I don't want to die turn 1. So he goes for rocks, which is kind of cool. I mispredict a little bit and go for the T-Wave, and then I get punished with the Toxic. I thought he was going to switch, honestly. He goes for the Super Fang, and then because Super Fang doesn't have a secondary effect, he loses Life Orb damage, which kind of sucks. I go for the Psychic right here, get a big chunk of damage off. I opt right here to go for the Moonlight, just to get some health back. He goes for the Sludge Wave. It does a lot. It does like 25-ish. I go for another Psychic. Then he opts to go for the Super Fang and ends up dying to Life Orb Recoil. I'm at 9%. He goes into Raikou. Now I could go with the DBS right here and try to block it, but I decided to sack Rita Repulsa because at this point in the game it pretty much loses to Murkrow. It loses to Murkrow. It kind of loses to Scizor at this point. It could lose to Arcanine. I could give Arcanine, Scizor, and Manaphy a T-Wave, but I don't know. I kind of just was like, all right, I'll just sack this thing. It's pretty low. It's toxic. Rocks are up. I don't know if I can even get rocks off the field in this game. I'm still not 100% sure. Probably could with the mana feet, but there may be a scenario where I can't. So I just opt to sack this thing. He goes for the Shadow Ball, perfectly fine. He reveals that he's Life Orb, which is great. I go into DBS. Now I'm thinking he might switch right here, but he doesn't. He actually goes in. I mean, I guess what is he going to switch into? To be fair, I Volt Switch, go into the count. He switches out into Murkrow. I don't want to get T-Waved. I don't want to get Thunderbolt, so I just go right back into DBS and U-turn. He goes into this thing. He Toxics me. I think every Mon on his team was rocking Toxic besides like the Manaphy and the Raikou, but just that's the point. I go into this. This is a perfect opportunity to defog my rocks. He Mean Looks me, so he's probably the Mean Look Perish Song Trap. I have U-turn, so it really doesn't matter. He goes for the Roost. I go for the U-turn. Super effective, 30%, clean. I go for against DBS. So I go for the Thunderbolt. Does way less than Volt Switch. So I'm guessing he's a Violet right now. And I just got a high roll on the Volt Switch. Highish. So I go back into Crank Anchors. I knock off this Violet right here. He Toxics me. It's fine. It's whatever. He goes for the Roost right here. And then I go for the U-turn. Crit. Does a lot of damage. Whatever. He's gonna Roost right here. I'm gonna Volt Switch. Volt Switch just clean, 36%. I go into Nidoking, and then he tries to Perish on me. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. So I Thunderbolt. I guess he didn't think I had Thunderbolt. Do that, and then I'm Focus Dash. I'm living anything he wants to do, including this extra sensory. I live on 1 Earth Power. Him up out the paint. And then we're down to 2. We went to Perish Song. It is what it is. I let him just kill me right here. He just bullet punches. This gives me a free opportunity into my Charizard X. So right here, I have the choice of either Dragon Dancing, Dragon Clawing, or Flare Blitzing right here. So Flare Blitz still does like a clean 30-ish% to mana fee. I don't know what it does to Arcanine at -1 because with the Intimidate, or if he was Flash Fire, but I found out later in the game that he is Intimidate, but just in case he was like Flash Fire and he just ate it up, is what it is. I could have Dragon Dance right here, but I was just kind of like, for some reason, I was just like really worried that he like was doing some like weird Scizor shenanigans. So I just was like, fuck it, I'm Flare Blitzing. And no way Scizor can live a Flare Blitz from Megazord X. So he goes right into Arcanine. You may be wondering why he stayed in with the Mega Scizor. I think he was predicting the Dragon Claw, and then he was going to stay in. And I talked to him after the match, and he had Agility Scizor, so maybe he was predicting like a Dragon Claw, go for the Agility, pass it off the Manaphy, go for the Tail Glow, and win. A little bit of a swing for the fence right there. Cool set, really cool set. And if it works, he might have won. Potentially could have won. I have Whirlwind on the Bandabuzz, so if I lived like an Ice Beam, I would have been able to Whirlwind him out, and then strategy kind of would have been a little off. But he goes into the Arcanine right here. I'm like, that's perfectly fine. I go into Crank Anchors. He talks to me. I'm already toxic. It is what it is. I want to knock off what this Arcanine is having, but he actually opts to switch into the air, which is cool. That's cool. And then he goes for the Tail Glow right here. Yep. And then I U-turn. Crit U-turn. Kind of cool. That really matters. And then I go for the Draco Meteor. I get the crit right here. And the crit's pretty big because it basically secures a W for me. It leaves me 4-on-1 on the Arcanine, a defensive Arcanine. And Arcanine can't beat it. But the crit mattered to a degree because he was totally going to kill me with an Ice Beam. So if he killed me with the Ice Beam, let's say he took a non-crit Draco. So let's say, I don't know what kind of roll I got on the crit, but let's say I got like an average. So I got like 45. He was at 70. That's 35%. He didn't have leftovers. So I would go into Mandibuzz right here. And then it was a roll in my favor that I would live a +3 Ice Beam. At that point, I would have lived the Ice Beam and then Whirlwind out. And then, if he was timid, of course, if he was timid, there was a moderately good chance that I was going to live. So if I was timid, then I would have whirlwind out. I would have died to the toxic, and then I would have brought in Zardax, and then proceeded the Dragon Dance. Even if he brought in the Arcanine, all I needed was the plus speed to win. I would have Dragon Danced right there, would have been at neutral attack and plus speed, and then I would have Dragon Danced again until the Arcanine, until I could kill the Arcanine. Then I would have outsped the Manaphy. If he had killed the Mandibuzz, then I would have gone into Zardax, and then if he was modest, I would have outsped him and killed him with the Dragon Claw. And if he was timid, then it would have been a speed roll, a speed tie, assuming he was max speed. It would have been a speed tie, and then he would have had to win the speed tie. So the game was still in my favor, even if I didn't get the crit. But there was a scenario where I could have lost. But the count comes through with the crit Draco. So he goes to the Intimidated. Game's pretty much won at this point. I switch out to Crankankers. He goes for the Blitz. Loses a little bit of health. I want to knock off this item. I don't want these passive recovery going on. He goes for the Wild Charge. I go for the knockoff. Totally fine. He has Morning Sun. He reveals Morning Sun, which is kind of cool. I reveal Roost. He goes for the Wild Charge. I forgot that I saw all 4 moves on this Mon. Pretty sure I saw the Toxic earlier. Yeah, I saw the Toxic earlier. I just forgot. In my head, I had this, like, before the game, I built this, like, perfect Arcanine set to take on Charizard X. So I was like, all right, let me just, like, weaken this Arcanine before I kill it. So I just fire off a Scald right here. I live the Flare Blitz. It's cool. Go for the crit. Or not go for the crit. I get the crit. With the crit, I mean, like, in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really matter. I just kind of sped up the game. So I just Dragon Claw right here, and it is GG. Definitely good game for Cole. If a couple things went a little differently, I definitely would have lost. But it's Pokemon, so it's the margin of error, and especially in league play, there's very, like, really, like, a lot of league games come to that, like, maybe like 2 or 3 plays or 4 plays. And then, that's Pokemon. You can theory on all you want, but at the end of the day, just won the game. But definitely good game. His team is very good, and I might see him again in playoffs. So if I do, then I might have to change things up a little bit. But I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. Now we move to 2-1 with a +4 differential. We're looking pretty nice for playoffs. The top 4 make the playoffs, so only 2 people missed the playoffs. And then now with this record, with halfway through the season, looking pretty solid. I'm 2-1 +4. I'm either in first place or second place, depending on how the other matches go. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, next week we're playing Toulon, and the coach of the SO4, Seviper 04, or SO4, Sevipers, yeah. We're playing him. Played him a couple times in JBA history. He's a JBA OG. He every match I've had with him has been really crazy. So I'm expecting nothing less. It's gonna be even crazier because this season he drafted an RNG team, basically he randomized his whole draft, and somehow ended up really like a really good team, even though he randomized his whole draft. There's a lot of threats and a lot of scary mons. So I gotta go prep for it. But until next time. Peace out.